In the forgotten highlands of Vietnam, far beyond rivers and misty mountains, lies a village where silence has a price. They follow a ritual older than memory, a ritual whispered only in shadows. It's called Bride Kidnapping. My 17 years old walked home from the river carrying water in a bamboo jar. The moonlight trembled across her face. Suddenly, rough hands grabbed her arms. A cloth muffled her screams. The jar shattered on the stones. No one dared to follow! The wind swallowed her cries. What? What happened to Mai? Did she vanish into thin air? Did the mountains claim her as their own? Or did something more sinister befall her? Something ancient. Something evil. Legend has it that in the village of Shillong, nestled deep within the Cambodian jungle, there exists a terrifying truth. Every 17 years, the villagers kidnap a young woman and offer her up to the mountain spirits as a sacrifice. They believe that this ritual will bring them good fortune for the year to come. But the spirits are never appeased. And so the body count rises. Who will be next? They dragged Mai through the forest. Branches tore her skin. Roots clawed her feet. In the village, families must remain silent. To resist is shame. To call for help is a curse. Her father sat by the fire, tears burning his eyes. Her mother clutched a rosary until her palms bled. Mai was carried into a stranger's hut. The air reeked of incense and shadows. Darkness swallowed her whole. What did they do to her? What did they do to her? What did they do to her? This is a horror anthology. Each segment is like a mini-movie with its own story and its own scares. This one is called The Village. The original story was written by a famous author. I'm bringing it to you because I love the way it makes you feel. The dread, the helplessness, the hopeless sadness. It's so fun to read and even more fun to perform. Inside the hut, old women waited. Their faces were wrinkled, teeth rotten, eyes glowing like dying embers. They whispered prayers that sounded more like curses. They tied Mai's wrists with red string. Her fate was sealed. She thrashed and screamed and begged for mercy, but no one heard. It was the third night of the water festival, and the old women had been waiting for Mai for 3 days. They were the bone collectors, and their hut was filled with the bones of girls who had stumbled inside and never made it out. Every full moon, they took a girl from a different family, and when the moon was at its fullest, they did a ritual to capture her soul. Mai's family had given up on finding her, but her brother wouldn't. He searched for his sister all day and prayed that she would be returned safely. But when the sun went down and the moon rose, he knew that she was most likely dead. No one had ever escaped the clutches of the bone collectors, and if they didn't get her back by morning, her soul would be trapped in the hut forever. Outside, villagers pretended to sleep. When everyone heard the tearing screams, the sobbing that turned to silence. Some say shadows gathered by the river, whispering and laughing. Some say the mountains shook. Some say the moon hid its face in the sky. A bride had been stolen, and the curse had begun. For years, the village had tried to hide it, to pretend that nothing had happened here. But the woods are dark and deep, and the spirits that lurk within them will not be denied. Every full moon, the veil between our world and theirs grows thin. And when the moon is full, they come out to play. Some say the bride wanders the earth as a ghost, searching for her lost love. Others say she is trapped forever in the woods, doomed to walk the path of no return. But one thing is certain. If you hear the whispers in the wind, if you see the shadows dance in the moonlight, then you are not alone. And whatever you do not follow them into the woods, because once you step foot inside, there is no escape. The curse will consume you whole. In the hut, Mai sat trembling. Her wrists burned from the ropes. Every shadow looked alive. She heard footsteps circling around her hut. Whispers pressed against the bamboo walls. Her heart pounded like a drum of war. Then suddenly, a door creaked open, and a man stepped inside. He was tall and thin, with a face that was hidden under a black scarf. Mai struggled against her bonds, but it was no use. The man approached her, his eyes gleaming in the firelight. "Let me guess," he said, his voice raspy and low. "You're not from around here, are you?" Mai shook her head, her eyes wide with fear. The man leaned closer. "You've come to the wrong place, little girl. This is where the nightmares come to die." Mai tried to scream, but her voice broke. A man placed a bowl of rice on the floor. He didn't speak. He only watched her with cold eyes. The old women returned. They lit candles shaped like skulls. The air filled with smoke. They chanted and the walls seemed to breathe. This was the last straw. Mai had had enough. She lunged at the man, but he was prepared for this. He grabbed her by the neck and lifted her off the ground. The old women continued their chant, their voices echoing in the darkness. Maya struggled against the man's grip, but he was too strong. She could feel her life force draining away, replaced by an overwhelming sense of dread. Suddenly, the ground beneath them began to shake. The walls cracked, and the candles flickered wildly. The man's eyes burned with an eerie glow. He whispered something in Mai's ear, and she felt her soul freeze. In the depths of despair, Mai realized she had been outplayed. Suddenly, Mai saw something. A shadow in the corner, but it was not human. It was tall. Its fingers stretched like claws. Its eyes glowed red. No one else reacted. Only Mai could see it. The shadow bent close. Its voice hissed in her ear. "You are mine now!" Mai screamed, but no one could hear her. She tried to run, but the creature was faster. It grabbed her and dragged her into the shadows. Then everything went black. When Mai woke up, she was in a dark room. She couldn't remember how she got there. She tried to scream, but her voice was hoarse. She was all alone. Or so she thought, because in the corner of her eye, she saw a shadow moving closer and closer. It was the same creature from before. It had a human face with sharp teeth. It grinned at her and licked its lips. "You're awake," it said. "I've been waiting for you." Mai fainted. When she opened her eyes, she was no longer in the hut. She was lying in a dark forest. The trees twisted like skeletons. The ground was wet with blood. Behind her, she heard drums. It was the sound of a wedding, but no humans were there. Only shadows danced. This is part 4 of a horror story. The previous parts are shown here. Part 5 will be out tomorrow. If you want to see part 5 early, you have to be subscribed. Also, we're giving away $500 to 5 lucky subscribers. So make sure to like this video and comment your favorite character. We'll announce the winners on October. Good luck! Now let's get back to the story. The forest was dark and scary. Maya started to walk home, but something followed her. She turned around, but it was too dark to see anything. She could only make out the shape of a man standing behind her. He was tall and thin like a skeleton. His eyes glowed red in the darkness. Mai screamed and ran away. The man followed her, his footsteps slow and heavy, like he was carrying a coffin. Mai ran as fast as she could, but the forest seemed to be endless. She tripped and fell to the ground. The man was now standing over her. His face was pale and expressionless. He reached out a hand towards her. Mai screamed again and tried to crawl away, but the man grabbed her ankle and pulled her towards him. Mai passed out. When she woke up, she was in a dark room. The man was kneeling beside her. His eyes were no longer red. They were a normal brown. He looked at her and smiled. A very familiar smile. It was the same smile from the painting in the hut.